I do spend a lot of time on the road and spend a lot of time at airports. And for a comedian, being at an airport, that's like spending a day at Chuck E. Cheese. Because there's so much funny stuff happens at the airport. But for me, the fun starts once they close the main cabin door. Because first thing the flight attendant tells us is to turn off all your electronic equipment or put it in airplane mode, right? I don't know why. I don't understand why. This commuter jet that I'm on cost $75 million to build. My iPhone, $650. If this $650 iPhone is going to take down that $75 million airplane, hey Boeing, you have a serious design flaw. You are not going to hear on the news tomorrow, a United commuter jet crashed after takeoff. The NTSB has determined that the cause of the accident was the idiot in 3A was playing Candy Crush on his iPhone. That's not going to happen. Then comes the safety briefing. Let me ask you guys a question. Do we still need somebody to stand up at the front of an airplane and show us how to buckle a seatbelt? Let's take a random survey. How many people here have been in, I don't know, a car? And not only they tell you how to do it, they show you how to do it. Take the metal tab, insert it into the buckle, and pull the strap lightly across your lap. You know what, Einstein? If you have a metal tab in this hand and a buckle in this hand, and you can't figure out what to do with it, I don't want you in my life raft, okay? If the air pressure changes in the cabin, oxygen masks will fall down from the compartment above your head. I've seen all these disaster movies. Every time that happens, somebody gets sucked out of one of those little windows. And it's usually the fat guy. That's not funny. And then in the unlikely event of a water landing, your seat cushion can be used as a flotation device. Yeah, really? Hey, next time you're on an airplane, take a look at that seat cushion. Do they think that you really believe that that wrinkly, crushed piece of foam rubber is going to save your ass if this plane goes down in the water? Maybe in a duck pond. And in all those disaster movies, do you ever see anybody out in the water floundering around, clutching onto a seat cushion? No. So I'm going to Philadelphia, and I'm on one of these commuter jets. You know, one seat on one side, two seats on the other. I'm in seat 3A, plane is packed. It's at that moment, the doors closed, they're getting ready to move back. Flight attendant comes up to me, right up to my seat, real quiet, and in a voice loud enough that everybody in the airplane can hear her. She says, Mr. Bogos, the pilot has informed me that we have an aircraft balance problem. And he would like you to move back to row 33. Wait a minute. You guys think that I am so fat that I'm going to solve the balance problem of this 210,000-pound airplane by moving back to row 33. And all I could think of was, as everybody was getting on the airplane, the pilot and the co-pilot were up in the cockpit watching people get on, and as I walked by the door, they went, yeah, that's the guy right there. Watch where he sits. You see where So I pick up all my stuff. Now I got to do this walk of shame, you know. I pick up all, yeah, what are you looking at? That's right, I'm the fat ass from 3A. I got to move back 30 rows so this thing doesn't tip over. Now I have to tell you, the night before, I went out with a bunch of buddies, and about 1 o'clock in the morning, after getting pretty loaded, somebody had the brilliant idea of going to Taco Bell. So now I'm on an airplane the next morning. You kind of know where this is going, right? I'm in the back of the airplane. I got to go to the bathroom 30 minutes into the flight. Of course, in those planes, bathrooms up the front of the airplane. I got to do the walk of shame again. I get up to the door. Well, they call it door. It's actually a slide. I mean, those bathrooms are built for like a 12-year-old, aren't they? Look at me, you know. So I've got a Taco Bell stomach, and I realized I'm not going to be able to turn around on this thing. So the only thing to do is I sort of back it, you know. The only thing that was missing was, you know. So I get in and I close the door. I flip that little lever and it says occupado on the outside. I do my business and push the blue button. Cleans up the toilet, but the aroma was overwhelming. I'm a little embarrassed because I hear somebody's outside waiting to get in here, so I open the door and I slithered, I don't slither, but I sort of creep out the door and I slammed the door shut and I said, there's somebody else in there, they'll be out in a couple of minutes. And I walked all the way back to my seat, and she's just, I looked up the front of the airplane, she's just standing there waiting for some idiot to come out of the bathroom again. And I'm thinking, this lady is going to die when she opens that door. You guys are great. I just celebrated my 36th wedding anniversary. And no. That's equally divided between 4 women. I'm not proud of that. I put in the time though. I did the years. Some good things came out of being married and divorced that many times. My attorney is my best friend. Every summer he invites me up to the lake out on my boat. I'll give you a minute to think about that one. No, I learned a lot of stuff. Here's what I learned. I learned how to tell if I'm really in love with someone. I just asked myself one simple question. Would I mind being financially ruined by this woman? Now here's what I learned, that men and women are different, right? We come to the same point in time and space from 2 totally different perspectives and points of view. We have different meanings for the same words, right? If my wife and I are having an argument, and it ends with her saying, fine. See, to her, that means I'm right, you're wrong, shut up. To me, that means, oh, it's not going to be a happy time for Kirk tonight. The word disgusting. The word disgusting. To most men, guys back me on this. Disgusting is acceptable, right? Hey, Kirk, look at this video I got. What? Oh my God, what is she going to do with that? Oh, man, that's disgusting. Delete it. No, send that over to my computer. I got 8 guys I send stuff like that to. Listen to this. Listen, when we were dating, my wife wouldn't come over to my apartment. She said my carpet was too crunchy. Well, yeah, if you get off the path, yes. That's what the socks are for. It's clearly marked. Wait a minute. You go into, and for women, disgusting is that floor right around the bottom of the toilet, you know, the sticky part.
Yes.
See, to us, that's just acceptable bathroom collateral damage. And no place on the planet, no place, is the difference between men and women more apparent than in public restrooms. See, man, we go in a public restroom, there are 2 rules. 2 rules. Rule number 1, no eye contact. Rule number 2, there's no talking. There's no talking. Last thing I want to hear from the dude standing at the urinal next to you is, nice watch. Women, you go into a public restroom full of total strangers. You come out 20 minutes later on the planning committee of a bridal shower. And you have a new recipe for meatloaf. How does that happen? All 3 of my marriages ended for totally different reasons. My first marriage ended because I was just in a failed mixed marriage. I mean, I'm white and she was the devil. My second marriage ended because after a while I thought she was fooling around on me, you know. So I just asked her one day, I said, are you cheating on me? And she said, not really. My third marriage ended, this is really bizarre. I got scared to death and left. Because every time we argued, got into a fight, she would threaten me. And I mean threaten me to the point where I thought, you know what? One of these days she really is going to shove a baseball bat on my ass and set it on fire. I don't want to be around when that Godzilla phase of menopause right now, you know? She's breathing fire and stomping on small Japanese people. And man, we don't know how to deal with menopause. Fortunately, my son and I, we have the secret Navy SEAL sign line, you know? Because I'll come into the house, and I'll notice somewhere like in the living area, you know, and I'll go, which means where is she and what's our alert level? He'll pop up from like behind the couch, dressed like a bush. Wait, he'll go, which means she's downstairs, we're at DEFCON 4. If she looks at you, just smile. And see, man, we don't know how to deal with menopause. So I got online, I looked at menopause and change of life, and I found these things from the 70s. Remember these? Mood rings? Remember these? They change color with your body temperature, tell you what kind of mood you're in. I bought it online, I got her to wear it. I'll be a son of a gun, they work. No, they do, because when she's in a good mood, it turns green, and when she's in a bad mood, it leaves a red mark on my face. So, that's how I know it works. Hey, listen, I'm going to get out of here because we got, you are in store for a great comedian. I'm going to leave you with one more thing here. I thought I was, oh, by the way, after the show, I will be right out that door, and I actually have mood rings for sale. They're normally $60, but tonight they're only $5. So it's just a Kellar's discount. I was flying into Las Vegas airport, and I had to rent a car. I have a 2006 Chrysler Malibu with like about 300,000 miles. I don't drive new cars very often. I get into this Chrysler spaceship. I don't know what this thing was, you know. And I look down and I see the first thing I see is the speedometer. It goes up to 140 miles an hour. Where can you, in this country, can you drive at 140 miles unless you're out on I-79? You're doing 140, your car better be bright green, and you better have Tide, Goodyear, and AC Delco decals all over it. Better be able to change 4 tires and get a full tank of gas in 15.4 seconds, so you're going to jail. So now I take off, and I look down on the dashboard. I see it, I can't believe it, there it is. There's a button that you can select or deselect the passenger side airbag. Are you kidding me? Listen, it's now up to me if we have an accident, whether you live or go sailing through my windshield. Then I found out it costs like about $1,200 to repack one of those. So now not only has Chrysler put a price tag on your head, I have to decide if your life is worth $1,200. All I'm saying is if I owe you money, you better drive.